Are you thinking about moving to Bend and you want to live somewhere right next to the river, next to downtown, in close proximity to all the west side amenities? Well, look no further than today's vlog tour, River West, just to the west of Deschutes River, downtown Drake Park. We're going to be vlog style videoing this particular neighborhood here today. So if it sounds like a video for you, stick around. We're getting after it right now.
If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, playing, floating the river, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about what the heck is going on here in Bend. My name is Zach Nutter. This is Ryan Jacob Brudloff. We've lived here for over 30 years and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd love to connect with you, help you make a smooth move to Bend, Oregon. I was trying to give Ryan a little zinger there, but we're also licensed brokers with eXp Realty. We're going to show you this awesome neighborhood. So we are in close proximity to the river. You can see it right there. Right on the other side of the river is Drake Park. There's a little footbridge that'll carry you over there. But this side of the river is really cool. So we're on Harmon right now. Harmon has some of the best real estate in Bend. You're talking $3 million homes that sit right on the river. But just on the other side of the street, median home price is $8-9 million. A lot of older homes, a lot of them built in the early 1900s, but it's such a great location that we wanted to show you these. If you're looking for possibly a fixer-upper, something that you can put some blood, sweat, and tears into and have this amazing location, this is a great area. So we're super excited. We're gonna cruise through the neighborhood, show you a bunch of this area. So we hope you're up for it.
So we are zipping through this neighborhood. It's Old Bend / River West neighborhood, but this is some of the oldest real estate in all of Bend. So think back to 1920, 1910, or even 1900. There's actually homes that we looked up today that were built in 1903 and 1904. So this is like where literally Bend started back 100+ years ago. And this is where the character comes from on the west side of town. So many people love this particular area. It's very pedestrian friendly. It's very close in proximity to just about everything Bend has to offer. And so you'll see the makeup of this neighborhood as we zip through it. But it's very original. Many of the homes have been revamped. They've been renovated over the course of time, but also many have not had any type of fixing up over the course of their lifespan. So there's a lot of character here, and there's so much to be had when living in such a close proximity to absolutely everything Bend has to offer.
So we are covering this area right now that runs up Newport. So Newport will take you to the west side of Bend. It'll also take you into downtown, all the way up to 14th Street, which is where you're gonna find there's Safeway. There's a big kind of commercial area up there with different restaurants. You've got Nome, you've got the new Huck and, what is that place called? The
Hawk and Huckleberry.
Hawk and Huckleberry, that's a mouthful, but it's supposed to be really, really good. It's a celebrity chef that built that place. All the way down to Galveston, where you're gonna find 10 Barrel, Brother John's, a lot of other great restaurants. And then the river kind of borders the rest of it. So it's a really unique neighborhood. Like Ryan was saying, you'll find a lot of houses in here. You find a lot that have been remodeled.
Like this one right here. Let's just zip over here, right behind us. This lot's been here for a long time, but it's getting a little TLC.
So there was a house here. As you can see, this is super abnormal for Bend. There is going to be a basement here. We don't have a ton of basements unless the houses were built in the early 1900s. I don't know what they were doing at that point, but they would dig down deep and put basements in. You do not find that with almost any new construction in Central Oregon. We have so much rock here. It just costs so much to develop a basement here. You gotta, what is that called?
Blast.
Hammer, yeah, hammer, blast, everything else. So it's really unique to see that there's gonna be a new construction home there that has a basement. But a lot of the homes here do have a basement. Almost everything you see on these streets is going to be craftsman style home. A lot of single stories. You'll see in some of the newer houses that you get the 2 stories, but a lot of single story homes and a lot of old growth trees, because these neighborhoods were built in the early 1900s, 1920, 1930, even before then. But so they built around the trees, or the trees have grown since then. So it's really, really cool to see. You just have this, you have this feeling of being kind of back in time in Bend when you're in this neighborhood.
It's pretty awesome. So we are cinched right in the residential portion of this neighborhood, of course, but to our left is going to be Galveston Avenue. We've done videos on the Galveston Avenue corridor. And then to our right is going to be Newport Avenue. We've done a video on the Newport Avenue corridor as well. Those used to be residential streets, but now they've been rezoned over the course of time, and they are commercial strips on the west side of town that have restaurants and shops and all kinds of great little businesses that encompass what those streets are to this day. So I can see Newport Avenue from our right as we're traversing through here, but in the middle of that is going to be all these residential homes that, like we've touched on before, are either...
Let's take them this way, and then let's go back through the neighborhood.
Sure.
This way we're just going to run into a bunch of kind of the more commercial stuff.
Perfect. So
Apologize.
we're coming up on Newport Avenue right now, and so we're going to see a little bit busier traffic here as we approach the street, but we are among all these homes, like we've touched on, that are either built back in the 1900s, early 1900s, or they've been torn down and rebuilt, and so there's brand new homes as well. It just makes for a very unique mix of all kinds of homes in this particular stretch of Bend.
So when we started this video, we had essentially our heels against the river, and we've been walking away from the river. Let's go in here, and we'll cut in front of Spork and
Zip
and then
around
we'll head
it.
back into the neighborhood area. So
Yeah.
we'll go in the front of the building here. But so we're almost to Newport Avenue here. One of my favorite restaurants in all of Bend is Spork. It's like a fusion restaurant that has all kinds of food, but it's absolutely amazing. Great cocktails, great food, cool atmosphere, very casual. You have comprise. You've got so many little local restaurants right in this area.
You can see that now. We're on the commercial side here, Newport Avenue.
So it took us, what, maybe 3-4 minutes
Right.
to get from the river to this very commercial area. And in between there is just a bunch of amazing craftsman style homes. Very quiet. You get out on Newport, it is a busier street. I'd say it's probably a top 10 most used street in Bend, but you don't hear it when you're a block or 2 in there because of all the old growth trees and everything else. You don't feel like you're this close.
Yeah.
But
Let's show them real quick the Spork outside there. We're at a restaurant. Pretty cool here. Go ahead, Zach.
So
Continue, sir.
just super close to so many amenities. You've got 𝐈𝐿 here. Just past down here is one of the more popular grocery stores in all of Bend, which is Newport Avenue Market. It's on the higher side for price, like imagine Safeway plus probably 20%, but they also have a lot of fresher vegetables and meats and different stuff like that. It's a great store. You've got a magnet school in here. You've got you've got another elementary school right ahead of us. So for when you get into the neighborhood, it feels very quiet, but just outside, you get the hustle and bustle of town. You get the proximity to downtown. You're not far from the old mill district. You can get to Galveston quick. Everything around here is really, really tight. But you feel like you've got more space. These older neighborhoods, they didn't build the houses right on top of each other. They are still probably, I don't know, 7,000-8,000 square foot lots, but they're not 4,000 or 5,000 square foot lots. So you definitely have a little bit more space between you and your neighbor.
When we talk to clients who are considering moving to Bend, or maybe they're already here, a lot of them want to be kind of in a pocket of Bend that's kind of like this, where it's pedestrian friendly, there's businesses around, you're close to the river, close to parks, things like that. And obviously you cannot just reinvent more real estate that caters to something like that. There's new developments that are going on the outskirts of town, things like that. And those are great developments. But here, is a very unique area. And so the price point kind of speaks for it in that regard. Being on the west side, you're close to the gateway to the Cascade Lake Scenic Byway, which is 20 miles away to Mount Bachelor, maybe another 10 minutes after that to, say, Elk Lake or the Green Lakes Trailhead or Cultus Lake, things like that. So we've spoken to some clients who are considering, like, say, Colorado or Utah or other places that are kind of similar in terms of what Bend is, a mountain town. Well, what's very unique about Bend in general, it doesn't matter where you are with this, is that you're just 20 miles away from Mount Bachelor, the 6th largest ski resort in North America. In Denver, you got to drive 2 hours with freeway traffic to get to any said ski resort. Here, we're that close. And that's just what makes Bend kind of what it is. It's so unique in that regard, being right here in the center of town, a very friendly neighborhood in terms of getting from point A to point B with the use of a car or without the use of a car. But you also have the gateway to all the outdoor amenities that are literally just right in your back door. It's pretty cool.
Mount Bachelor is actually for sale right now. If you guys all send us $1 million each to our Venmo account, we can buy it, and then we'll give you free season passes for life. So
there you go.
So we're cruising along elementary school right here, and then right ahead of us is the footbridge that takes you into Drake Park. So being in this area, you got the river, you've got Galveston, you've got Newport, you've got the river, you've got downtown so close. It's just such a great place. You've got Harmon Park. Right over here, you've got the lot, which is the first food truck lot in Bend. It kind of launched all the food trucks here locally. So you have a plethora of food, entertainment. You're close to the old mill, which has our movie theater, a ton more shopping. It's where you launch your float. If you want to float, it's about an hour float to float from the old mill to downtown. I couldn't imagine a better neighborhood in Bend if you want that close proximity to amenities, outdoors, everything else. Ryan says we're going this way. I was going to show you the footbridge, but
we can go over there too if you want.
He doesn't want to show you the footbridge. That's fine. So, but yeah, it's got that old town feel. You've got covered porches in the front of a lot of the houses. You've got a lot of single-story homes, all craftsmen. It's a really, really unique, quiet, old neighborhood in Bend that if you're looking to do a renovation and are willing to put some blood, sweat, and tears and money into a project, this is absolutely an area of town that I would consider doing that in.
There's a lot of value over here on this side of town. And it doesn't take a lot of legwork to find it either. I've said for a long time, living in Bend for over 30 years, that all roads tend to lead to the west side of town. It is the gateway, obviously, like we touched on, to the Cascade Lakes area. There's golf courses over here. It's just very friendly in terms of all types of getting from point A to point B. And that's something that we really like to drive home, because as you get into bigger and bigger cities, it just becomes more sprawled out. And this part of town definitely does not have that. We're approaching a home here right now that could be, at some point in time, a good potential type of investment if it ever came to market. But it just gives you homage and some perspective as to what is here. Right to our left is going to be the park where we started. Right to our right is going to be all the homes that are scattered about within this subdivision that have been here for 50, 60, maybe 100 years. And it gives Bend that kind of that perspective that otherwise most people don't really get to experience when they're first learning about the possibility of either moving to Bend from somewhere else, or if they've already been here for a while, then maybe they've learned about it a little bit. But if they start to actually kind of roll their sleeves up to do some legwork, they can learn that there's just fantastic value in a neighborhood like this.
One of the things that I appreciate, if you're not looking on the west side of Bend, we've got a couple local developers that really understand that this is what people want. They want that proximity to amenities. They want amenities built within the neighborhood. We have a couple local developers right now that are really making that happen, and they're doing these very well planned developments that have proposed mixed-use commercial. They have pools, they have gyms, they have all of these things built into the community for the people that want to have that experience. So many people these days don't want to have to get in their car and drive 20 minutes. That's the reason a lot of people move to Bend or to Central Oregon, is that they're tired of commuting. They're tired of that. So when you come to a small town, you want to be close to your favorite coffee shop, your favorite restaurant, those things. So these developers are really putting an emphasis on building the community and not just infilling houses and building as many homes as they possibly can for the cheapest price they possibly can, which you can really feel it. We have a client right now that we went into one of these neighborhoods. He's like, this feels like a resort. Feels amazing. I love it. This is where I want to be. And I had the same feeling being there. I'm like, this is well planned out. It's well thought out. You feel good when you're there. You feel like you can relax. You feel like it's home, right? That's what you should feel like when you're at home. So this is an amazing neighborhood, definitely on the higher end of price points, but it has some ability to put some blood, sweat, and tears into some of these houses. They don't come up a ton, but when they do, they're older. They need some TLC. So you can typically get them for a little less than what they would be if they were completely remodeled. Make it your own and have a beautiful home in a wonderful neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a good point that you bring up, Zach, because we did a video a couple weeks ago on Discovery West. That's a little bit further to our west from where we're standing right now, but they're trying to do the exact thing that Zach just touched on, which is kind of create a community within the subdivision so that patrons or residents don't necessarily have to drive downtown, or they have to drive to the old mill, or they have to drive to the box factory. They can just hang out within their neighborhood, walk their dog if they want to, get on a bike, and they can go enjoy some sort of commercial amenity that is offered within their subdivision. And that seems to be the common theme with current developments, future developments, etc. here in the Bend area. But know this, that the original, by accident, most likely, is right here where we're standing right now. This wasn't planned 100 years ago, but this is what it's turned into. So much character and so much to just be desired within where we're at right now.
Before we wrap up, we got a little construction going on over there, but before we wrap up, I wanted to point out one more thing, and of course we're going to walk under this canopy of trees. Going to kind of kill the mood for what I was going to talk about, but it's September. It's early September right now, heading into fall. One of Ryan and I's favorite times of year. But you can see as we pass through right here, absolutely beautiful bluebird day. We are known for 300 days of sunshine, and that is such an appeal for so many people that move here. A lot of people come here from Portland, Seattle, because they love the area, they love the food, they love everything they have there, but they can't get this.
Hi. How are you?
Hi, guys. They absolutely can't get the sunshine that we have here. And we have, because so many of those people have moved here, amazing chefs have moved here, amazing business people have moved here. And it has really grown the offering of Bend, Oregon. So thank you, Sunshine, for all you've done for us, because it is absolutely huge to the growth of Bend, Oregon. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. We love this area of town. If you'd like to take a tour of Bend, absolutely love to show it to you. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We are the ones that answer the phone. So if you call, you're getting us. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching so far into the video, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.